right, 5-9 gamers, welcome back to the Dragon Ball Legends podcast. Today we have episode 42, A Pool Force. We hope you feel the hype as well. And before we start, as always, Twitch Prime is not a crime. Make sure to check out all our social media platforms, ! Linktree in the chat, and you'll find our TikTok, our YouTube, our Twitter, obviously our LinkedIn. For some reason, someone said that always. And today, we are joined by a returning guest, D3. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Hope you guys are as well. Thanks for having me again.
Hey, all right. We have Goresh back here, obviously, because it's a Frieza-themed podcast as well.
Yeah, I had to definitely jump in for the LF Frieza release.
Exactly. We are also joined by our Godkey main, now cheating on them with Super Saiyans. Swift, how are you doing?
Yo, what's up, everybody?
And we got Detective ZVG, who thinks that Toshi is being held at gunpoint.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to uncover the truth, bro. Don't worry. I got y'all.
The truth can help you with that, right? Yeah, so of course today we're going to talk about the new banner, the new units, Apul and the gang incoming, and the V-Jump leaks that we got a couple of days ago about the potential Majub and Ginyu Zenkai. And we are going to start with the banner. D3, do you think this is a worthy banner to summon on, and who should or shouldn't summon on it?
I mean, really no. I mean, the roster is... I mean, there's a good roster of characters if you just look at the banner as a whole. But really, if you're looking at banners to summon on, you're looking at more than one new character. I mean, there's an EX, one new sparking character, right? So really just no. But I mean, if you want to, if you're like, I think the thing about this banner is... if you're an LOE fan or if you're somebody that's been waiting for LOE stuff, obviously you would want to consider it. But I think one thing to see about this banner is how it could potentially age going forward. The roster is not going to change, but the implication is that maybe we could see more LOE stuff or powerful opponent stuff, and maybe this Frieza winds up being one of the characters you probably would have wanted to have. Like, you can kind of equate this to Yellow SS4 Goku's banner to a degree. Not really talking about how good Frieza is versus that Goku, but, Goku was a bit of a stepping stone pre-anniversary to a bunch of GT stuff coming out, right? So who knows what happens from here? And maybe Frieza winds up, again, being a character that has more value going forward. I think he's an incredible character. I just don't love the banner overall.
Yeah, I was going to say, for this banner, like, you have to consider, like, what they're going for, because I think they're really pushing Powerful Opponent. And Powerful Opponent is a tag that's a really safe investment, I think, for a lot of players, because it's always going to get updated. Think about how many powerful opponents there are. I think at this point, like, we pretty much know that powerful opponent is either characters that were the main antagonist in their saga, or characters that, like, Goku fought, and that's pretty much what powerful opponent is, right? So if you consider, like, that requirement to be in the tag, there's, like, infinite characters that will be in powerful opponent moving forward, and you're pretty much going to get, like, for every, like, celebration that comes out, at least one character that's in that tag. So you can choose if you're choosing to like main or make powerful opponent one of your main teams. You can choose which characters you want to go for. Even, like, you don't even have to summon for every single powerful opponent character you like in that tag, even if you're maining that team, because there's so many options. So if you're like a powerful opponent main, or you just like the tag, like, this is a decent banner. But I, overall, like, looking at the actual banner, I don't think it's that good. Main reason being because the fact that they just excluded any other sparkings other than Frieza himself, which is, I think, a very stupid choice. Not having a new sparking other than Frieza makes it so that, like, him being the only new sparking at a 0.5% rate is not a good choice. Like,
man,
I don't know.
Yeah, they pretty much went back to Super Saiyan 4,
I wonder if the thought process was to also test out how the new pity system or whatever is going to handle or be handled, right, by the players. So that might have been part of it. I do agree with what you were saying. Like, there are specific teams like God Key or Powerful Opponent that are always going to have value going forward, just because of the sheer number of characters they're going to get going forward. And Frieza, like I said, could be a good stepping stone for what's to come for that grouping overall. And like you said, they're always going to get new characters, so there is value in that. It's just the banner itself. Like, if Frieza was paired with maybe 2 or 3 more good 1% sparkings, then we have something to talk about, really.
Yeah,
I was for me personally, even though I like some of the roster, like, I love King Piccolo on there. I love a number of the characters, including some of the LFs, like Baby and not Baby, excuse me, but Boo and Broly. I don't think it's worth going that deep in, personally, unless you're Goresh.
Yeah, sure. LOE, like, fiend, I guess.
Well, I do love the Frieza Saga theme as well. Like they've been really pushing that saga tag for a while too, with the ultras and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's value there for sure.
Yep.
I was gonna say, Gresh, if anybody's a powerful opponent main, I'm pretty sure that they don't have any CC to summon on this banner right here, because powerful opponent has been getting a lot of LFs, especially LFs before this Frieza. Yeah. But yeah, this banner, I feel like if, you know, Rival Goku and Hit were like 1%, then it would be like, okay, maybe it's worth it a bit, right? But because they're 0.16%, I feel like this banner is literally just not worth it at all if you're free to play, other than the fact that if you're an LOE main, because I feel like they're going to start coming out with like some LOE support, especially since, you know, the leaked or whatever, the V-Jump is about, you know, Zenkai Ginyu. So the Frieza Saga, Frieza Force or whatever is probably going to get some more updates in the coming future. But other than that, this banner is a major skip, honestly.
That's why I was saying we need to kind of see how the banner ages, right? Because, like, I mean, the banner in and of itself won't change, but will the value have gone up?
You did make a good point about, you know, how LOE, this could be a sign that might be getting some love for LOE. I mean, me and Gresh were just talking about before the podcast, you know, there's just a possibility they Zenkai that purple LF Frieza. I mean, you know, there's possibilities of LOE getting some love. So I see what you're saying. Like, the value could possibly continue to increase in the future. I was extremely disappointed that, I was happy that they brought Clapku back, but they gave him such a low rate to the point to where, like, you're more likely to pull an LF unit than you are to pull a copy of Revival Goku. So that was kind of a disappointment, but for me personally, it was a skip. But I see what you're saying about you know, Lineage of Evil possibly getting some love in the future. So
well, on that topic, the thing is that with Lineage of Evil potentially getting some love going forward, also need to remember that they're going to be in a position similar to where GT was, where they kind of were needing stuff. I mean, they got stuff, like they got the green cooler, they got some Zenkais, they got some stuff, but they kind of need just a new cast almost entirely. So you're going to look back at it and say, oh, hey, this Frieza would be really nice to have on my LOE team, but he probably won't have returned on a banner, you know, anytime soon. So that's the thing.
Yeah. And I think it's pretty safe to say at this point that they've completely discarded the idea of having featured sparkings on here. Right? Because like every single sparking has the same rate, and they're like 0.1, which is really bad because you can't pinpoint. That's bad. You can't pinpoint a sparking that you want to pull out of the pool sparkings, right? Which is dumb because generally that's how you decide which banner to summon on, right?
Yeah.
Instead of having like 50 sparkings on the banner with all at the same rate, usually, like, you know, they used to do, you know, they'd pick like 5 or 6 sparkings that had a higher rate, which would then be quote unquote featured. And then based off of which ones are featured, it has the higher rate, you decide whether or not you want to summon. But now they've stopped doing that, and it makes it way more difficult to decide if it's worth summoning or not, because it's more so just like a random grab bag, right? You have no idea what you're going to pull.
Yeah.
Is it only on step ups that that this has occurred? I'm not 100% sure. Okay,
so All-Star banners, remember All-Star banners have guaranteed sparkings per
Oh yeah.
And it's much easier to pinpoint a unit that you want to pull from an All-Star banner as opposed to a step up, because step up is like a shotgun blast. Like you're just blasting and hoping you pull what you want, right?
This is why
All-Star
I feel
banners
like
might be the best banners in the game at this point.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I think the pickups are honestly the best. The pickups, because the pickups normally have like LS like at a high percent chance, but also having, you know, the teams, like the whole team there, or some units for that team in that banner. We saw it with the Rose, Broly, and Kibu banner. It had literally every single powerful opponent 1% there with the LFs there. So it was like a perfect banner if you wanted to get into the powerful opponent team. So I feel like pickups and all-stars are better than step-ups at this point. And I feel like that's not a hot take whatsoever.
Do you feel this way even...
Imagine saying that like freaking like 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Has Pity changed anything about that at all in your perspective?
Nah, because I'm free to play, so the Pity doesn't really, you know, cater to me as much as, you know, Gresh. So Gresh would probably give you a better opinion on that.
I mean, the Pity for me really did obviously help me a lot. Like it saved me a lot of crystals. Yeah. I think it can, I mean, again, it will help you if you're free to play, if you're able to save up for a long period of time and have the willpower to not summon. Because if you come into a banner with like a bunch of crystals, you'll obviously get value out of the Pity system.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say about the Pity system that I really don't like, and I think it was sort of misleading how they introduced it, was when they talked about you're able to exchange 1 coin for a Legends ticket, apparently you actually have to wait until the banner goes away for that to happen. Like, you can't just.
I was
straight
wondering
up
why that wasn't
that.
available,
dude. How misleading was that? They put it
that
in
doesn't make any sense.
They put it in like the introduction news section.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go check out the new summon coin shop to just see how everything stacks up. And there's no Legends tickets. And so apparently, according to what was said, I don't even think it was in game. I think it was on Twitter. It was like, oh, once the banner goes away, you'll be able to exchange your coins for summon tickets. It's like, why? What's the point? Why wouldn't you just let me exchange?
Yeah, that's
kind
dumb.
of weird.
It is dumb.
I guess.
Is
the
there going to be a limit on it?
Well,
no,
I don't know.
Like on the amount of Legends tickets you can exchange. I don't know.
Since you can't hold the coins, which is a whole different stupid thing. That's probably the thought process. Since you can't hold them, at least you get some value out of them afterwards.
Yeah, I think it's more so like your leftover coins that weren't used just automatically get converted to Legends tickets. I think is what happens.
Yeah, that might be what's happening there. So they don't
That'd
just infinitely sit there unusable forever.
Yeah. Yeah, and then in terms of how the banner will age, I mean, this Frieza will come back at one point, so you still have a little bit of hindsight, but the question is, will he come back as fast as Ella Frieza came back, or will he come back faster, right? So we also don't know if it's going to be like a year from now, or if he's going to come back in like 3 months' time.
I love Super Saiyan 4 Goku hasn't come back yet, and he came out, in like April?
Like 3.5 months ago, something like that now.
Yeah.
I think some of the characters they do bring back quicker, but typically I don't know what the average is, but with LFs it seems like it takes a while, maybe 4 months or so.
I mean, Kid Buu and Rose came back reasonably fast. Was it like 3-4 months?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think with LFs it's probably like 3-4 months.
So yeah, maybe they.
I think Goku should be like right around the corner for the next banner we get. That's another LF next week. So.
Oh, joy.
Next week. Next week. But anyways, I think if you're going into this banner thinking that Eloise is going to get some buffs, do not go for that. Because I remember when Terminal Power 17 and 18 came up, people were like, oh, they're going to get buffs for the anniversary, and no buffs whatsoever. And people summoned thinking that, TOP would be, a main theme for the anniversary, and it wasn't. So don't just jump into this banner thinking that Eloise is going to get buffs. I mean, it's all hindsight at the end of the day. We don't know what they're going to bring out, or if they're going to bring out some support or whatever.
The Freeze is also 3 teams, so that's another thing. Yeah. So he could lead either way. So I get your point, but like he's a little more valuable from a team building perspective than those androids were.
Fair enough. Especially,
and they were actually the tail end of numerous buffs from being the culmination of from UI releasing. That tag steadily got new characters coming out. Actually, from the dogs, really, they steadily got new characters once every couple months.
Yeah.
So they were the tail end of that.
And especially Frieza being part of Powerful Opponent, a tag that is so broad that you can kind of almost always throw together a team. Just based on the fact that
any villain that pretty much comes out ever is going to be a Powerful Opponent.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, pretty much.
I love how the tag's so broad, but yet the best team for the tag is literally all the LFs slapped on together.
yeah.
I actually have to try that.
At a high star level anyway.
Yeah.
I think it's evident for PO, because PO is like one of the most expensive tags in the game to actually run, because you need the LFs are 6 stars for all of them, and it's that's kind of difficult for a low spender will find it pretty difficult to get all the LFs at the required star count to make the team actually viable. I mean, you can run the 1%, but obviously it's not gonna be super optimal if you run all the LFs together.
I feel like, Goresh, you should probably make a team of all your 14-star LFs and then just name yourself Zenkai Bad or something like this.
I feel like Bojack is good. There's some good 1%.
So
there's Bojack, there's King Piccolo, there's Green Rose. There's some options.
Yeah, there are options, of course.
Red Cell.
But I just find it funny how it's just
Purple DKP is amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, there's some options there.
Truth just recently learned that, huh? Based on our shorts on YouTube.
Yeah, Yellow Broly, what a menace, dude.
Oh my gosh, missing the game, bro. Oh my gosh, one shot any purple ever, bro. Trust me.
All right, I think before we get too far off track here, we can move this over to the next topic, which is obviously the main unit of the banner. And who better to tell us about the strengths and weaknesses than the LOE main himself, Goresh? What do you think about Frieza?
Okay, so this guy definitely feels real. I don't think they pulled their punches with this guy at all. The fact that he does extra damage to Sun Family is something that we really needed. I think they realized that the Gohan they just released was not very good for the meta. So they come out with a yellow character that does extra damage versus Sun Family. So like this Frieza is like pretty obviously designed to just completely eliminate that Gohan from the fight. The problem with that is that you're always going to be running into the Red Gohan along with him. So again, Red Gohan presents himself as the biggest issue for a year straight. Great. But yeah, this Frieza is good. To me, when I'm using him like in actual like practice, he feels like an upgraded, better all-around version of LF Rose. He feels very similar. They both destroy Dragon Balls. They both they both destroy Dragon Balls. They both have the similar damage output to me. They both have kind of card draw speed. Frieza has straight up card draw speed, while Purple Rose gets cards when your enemy switches. They feel like they're designed in a very similar way. Their blue cards are both AoEs. So I don't know. He feels good to me. The problem I have with this Frieza specifically is that he is not a unit that is designed to be used on LoE. He's designed to be used on powerful opponent. So I'm trying to really think about, is he really going to propel LoE forward? Because you can use him on LoE, and it's going to be his best team. Because whenever an LoE unit comes out, their best team is LoE, just because of the fact that you have both Cooler, the Zenkai Cooler, and the LF Purple Frieza support buff. So they're going to look their best on LoE. But the team is not the best for him. Like, his best team is powerful opponent, because that team is just better than LoE is. The problem with LoE is there's no tank. Like, there's no unit that's able to just sit there and soak the damage up. I'm actually pretty. I want to try out this yellow blue setup with both full power Friezas and then blue Cooler. I mean, it's not going to be the best, because the old yellow full power Frieza is not exactly the greatest unit ever. But the team so badly needs a defensive unit that it's like you're forced to run the old full power Frieza because of how squishy the team is. Like, you get caught with one combo from Hybrid Team. Yeah, this Frieza is meant to counter the LF Revival Gohan. Like, you get caught with one combo and somebody's dead, because Red Gohan's going to come in and just like one shot you, no matter who you go into. So at the end of the day, he's good. He definitely fits on LoE really well. Blast Armor is going to work really well with him as well. Start combos with him, but I don't think he's going to be, quote unquote, the savior of LoE. Powerful opponents where he's meant to be ran on, and I feel like with the roster of powerful opponent units right now, you can do like a full Blast Armor team on powerful opponent. I don't know. I feel like that's the path they're going down, and I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if we saw sort of like a shift in what they want to do, and they might relegate LoE to being a side tag, like they've done with like Heraclan and those kinds of like Shadow Dragon and stuff like that, because realistically, at the end of the day, it's so much easier to buff powerful opponent than attack like LoE that has two characters on it. So that may be the path they're going down. But again, to me, he fits the best on LoE because of the support that team offers. But I think powerful opponent is the team you want to use him on.
What
are your thoughts on the changes he makes to his other two groupings, Frieza and
Frieza Saga?
Yeah,
Frieza Saga, definitely we need more from that tag.
Well, Frieza Saga and Frieza Force.
Oh yeah, I mean Frieza Force has a lot more room for potential growth than like Lineage of Evil does, because of how much more units are on there. The only problem I have with Frieza Force is that they refuse to give like these other units from like because Frieza Force and Frieza Saga are like pretty 1-to-1 pretty much. Yeah. And they don't want to give us like a Monster Zarbon. Like, they're giving us the whole free to play a pool Force. Like, honestly, I don't know how good they're going to be. Maybe they're like optimal for Frieza Force. Maybe you want to run this Frieza alongside like two of those guys. Like, I don't know. They could be that good for all we know. But yeah, there's no golden Frieza in the game that's good. So that's number one. Like, outside of the Frieza Saga, the Broly and Chile unit's unusable. There's no base form Broly. I mean, the red Zenkai Wrathful Broly is okay, but you're not really going to run him on the Frieza Force team. So I mean, at the end of the day,
I think I guess like Tagoma and Ginyu Tagoma, like stuff like that. But
I think when you're building like a specific Frieza Force team, you just end up building LoE at the end of the day, from what I'm looking at here.
Just wait for the Ginyu Force to come back.
Well, I was going to say, what about the Ginyu Force characters, and then potentially Purple Ginyu getting a Zenkai, things like that? Because he was meant to be ran on Ginyu Force specifically, actually, with his uniques and stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say that because he has a lot of uniques that are specifically for Ginyu Force. So I don't know if you want to run this Frieza with him, Because remember, he has uniques that require all of your battle members to be Ginyu Force, which obviously Frieza's not. So his Zenkai, they might like take that away from his kit. They might make it more flexible for you, which would be good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But at the end of the day, I think powerful opponent is clearly what this guy was designed to be used on. But I think what's cool about the design of his Z ability and the way that they've been doing a lot of these Z abilities is, there's 3 Z abilities here that he's buffing, right? He's buffing 3 different tags. So you can sort of mix and match how you build him. The problem with doing that, though, is that you build a lot of these teams where like a lot of your bench are not buffing like each other. So you get into like these weird situations where your whole team isn't buffing the whole rest of the team. And it's just, I don't know. Powerful opponent is the one team that really meshes this guy together well. And while I would like to say he's good on LOE, and he is good on LOE, the team is just not good within itself. So take that as you will.
They almost need a revival unit, man.
I mean, yeah.
Every team in the game.
That would be dude. One revival unit, and this team is like back on the map, I think.
Yeah. I think what's interesting, Gurish, what do you think about the Red Metal Cooler as LOE's tank?
I mean,
I think
he still just gets rushed and killed, right?
Yeah. Oh, so you're talking about like an endurance or like something like counter as an okay, yeah. So that makes sense.
I mean, he's also regen, which doesn't help against Gohan, right?
Yeah. But what I was gonna say about Frieza is I feel like this probably might be a hard take, but I feel like Frieza is better than c3b Zamasu. I feel like Frieza's entire kit is just very well built, and he's a very well polished LF. His animations are amazing. His kit's great. To what you said about being an upgraded Rose, I can see it. I mean, he has a blast armor, destroy Dragon Balls. Dude, the destroying Dragon Balls is so good because it effectively makes you able to get your Rising Rush faster than your opponent. Just swap him in, boom, one's gone. No work required, just swap him in, boom, it's gone. His green card is amazing, his cover is great, his damage is okay. And what I will say about him on LOE is that he looks way better on LOE because obviously, as Gresh mentioned, he has like 75% support on that team, so obviously he looks better on that team. But I feel like the issue with PO is that PO doesn't have like cohesiveness. It's just a bunch of units slapped on together. So that's why he doesn't look his best on powerful opponent. But I like this Frieza a lot. He's very good. Hopefully LOE or Frieza or Frieza Force to get some love in the near future, and he just he gets to see more play in PvP because obviously no one really wants to run LOE just for this Frieza, and the other 2 units are just gonna get clapped because the team is just not good. But I like him. I think he's better than Zamasu personally. So I don't know if that's a hot take to you guys or what, but he just very, very, very good, man. I like him a lot. I like him a lot.
Yeah. I could really
potentially see him being better than Zamasu. I mean, I haven't used him enough at like a high PvP level to really test that, but I'm definitely going to use him over the course of the next few days, and we'll see. But I think one other thing to mention that I forgot to say about this guy is his blue card is so powerful, and the fact that purple LF Frieza holds an extra blue card, like that really brings out the damage that this guy can do. Like you land one blue card, and you're in such an advantageous position just from that one blue card in most cases. Like, don't forget, he gets blue card damage straight up from his unique. So on top of all the support he's getting, on top of all the damage he's getting from his unique abilities that are just straight up like damage inflicted buffs, he gets specific damage inflicted buffs for his blue card as well. I think it's 25%. So I mean, it's pretty much just a nuke, and that's one other thing to mention as well about him. I think with comparing him to LF Rose, he does a better job of destroying Dragon Balls because it's not RNG. Like Rose can destroy Dragon Balls, but he has to get lucky on his strike cards.
Yeah.
God, it's so
30%.
It's 15%.
It feels like it's 5%. I'll legit be in my videos. I'll be like Dragon Ball. No, I'll use like 6 strike cards. Dragon Ball. No, Dragon Ball. No.
It's like the inverse of the Gotenks feint.
Yeah. So you can actually run both Frieza and Rose together, and you could just like have like Dragon Ball destruction team and like try to have your opponent never get a rush. Like that's an option.
I mean, especially
one combo that I've actually found is really oppressive is this Frieza with purple DKP, because with his card draw speed, he's one of the few powerful opponent units that just has straight up card draw speed when he enters the battlefield on that team. So you can combo like 5-6 cards in a row, go into Demon King Piccolo, transform, and then you have like another 5 cards you can combo in right away.
And then every time the enemy swaps out, you draw another card.
Yeah, and then you get green cards that make you draw more cards, and then at that point you pretty much have your rush ready. So it's like that one combo there is really, really powerful.
dude, I could see that team being pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Or just that combo of units.
Yeah, and what I love about the Dragon Ball destruction is if your enemy or your opponent has the rush, they have 4 cards on their hands with no Dragon Balls. You destroy one, they can't get it with that same combo unless they get super lucky with the card draw. So
Yeah.
so even then, you can just kind of safely swap them in. But
Yeah.
I mean, you also see a lot of bait going on with like the revived Gohan. You know, they switch into red Gohan, making you think, "Oh, now I can rush him," and then they just switch again. So you can do the same.
I
thing.
think one thing to note about this Frieza is that he has 40% reduction like on cancelable, and on cover I think he gets 20% more. So on cover he's gonna at high stars. I'm pretty certain that he's like a great tank, honestly, because 40% cover at high stars is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a setup where I just build him completely tanky. I mean, LOE, like most of LOE's equipment is not like they're not designed for tank. I mean, there's one that is. There's double defense HP.
Yeah, I got that one.
But other than that one, there's not really much you can do for defense, which kind of sucks.
Yep, they're just raw power. I'm just looking right now. I think I have that one on him as well. Is it what is it called? This haraha. You make the sound. Yeah, blast defense, strike defense, and 10% HP. All right, so
Yeah.
any more opinions? Swift, have you pulled on the banner at all? Did you get him or did you run into him?
I did the first step and then I kind of stopped after that. I've ran into him a couple times. I did want to mention one of the things I think is really good about him is he's basically similar to the yellow DKP in the sense that he just like permanently nullify endurance. So like
Yep.
even if you
Yes.
rush, like
Yeah.
so that's really good right there. Just by itself is an amazing thing to have. Especially in this meta going against all these future Gohans and these revival teams, you want to be able to nullify that endurance. And then also the permanent blast armor. I mean, that's just incredible value alone. So, I mean, and then obviously ZVG, and you guys mentioned some other really good things about his kit. I think he is really good. ZVG brought up the opinion against Zamasu. I don't think that's a hot take. I think they're probably pretty dang close. You know, Zamasu's got that ability to get his vanish back and whatnot, but I do think this Frieza is really, really good. I'm even running into him in the higher ranks, so I think he's good. But like we've already kind of said, Eloise still needs some extra love here. So
That permanent endurance nullification is another similarity to Rose because they both do that.
oh yeah, you're right.
How does it feel knowing that Gogeta 4 is the worst NELF, bro? Like,
Well, this
The
is not
headline
technically
unit.
an anniversary LF, right? Because this is like the first.
well, I want to count him as one because, as they said,
'Cause I
the
want
third
to.
NE isn't over yet. The third NE isn't over yet. But yeah, dude, I really, really, really like this Frieza a lot. Like, his kit is just so good, man. The kit, dude, his kit is like, his first unique is like two
It's like
pages,
VB
dude. No
last
joke.
year.
Yeah.
That's what I
It's
wanted
like
to
an
say.
essay, yeah.
It's like VB.
Yeah.
I think that is the single longest unique ability in the game. Like in terms of length, paragraph length.
Oh, the one where he gets based on the defeated battle allies or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is ridiculous.
Also, one thing.
I was reading it,
When
I was like, okay, so he always gets draw speed. Okay.
When I saw that
That's
unique
cool.
ability, when I was doing my breakdown video, I like pulled it up and I was like, hold on, because whenever I see like a very long unique ability, I always compare it to VB from year 2. Because I remember looking at his and I was like, dude, this is like 7 paragraphs long.
He was
His
the
is
first
way-
character I think that was like that. I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell is this?
His unique abilities are like 30% longer than Vegito Blues, which is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think this Frieza is a very good last man standing, especially since he recovers Vanish on his main ability, which is like, dude, he just has everything, man. This Frieza, if I made LOE, dude, I would have went so ham on this banner, but dude, he's just so good. He's just so good.
Yep.
I'll tell
I'll
you
tell
right
you
now,
one thing about
if
this
LOE,
Frieza that's
oh my
like-
god,
I was gonna say, I'll tell you one thing about this Frieza that it's just, I know it's just a me problem, but like I'm so used to the other yellow Frieza. So like I've like 4 or 5 times subbed this dude on covers and just watched him get completely decimated. It's like,
Wait, he doesn't take
damn
key?
it.
Jeez.
Huh?
He doesn't take the key away, yeah.
No. I'm so used to the stupid other freaking yellow full power Frieza that I'm just like, oh yeah, this isn't that one, huh? I remember that dude in his prime. He would just be a
Oh, dude, he
monster
was-
defensively.
yeah, he was a menace, man.
He was
that's his main problem, but it's like it's really funny because I've done it like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, oh, that's not him.
When that old full power Frieza came out, he was arguably the best unit in the game because he was a hard counter to the best unit in the game at that time, which was Super Vegito.
Yeah, he was disgusting.
Unless you want to count Namekoku, but he came out at the same time.
And the blue card, dude, his blue card did so much damage. I mean, if he gets a Zenkai, he's going to be really
beast. And he had freaking endurance, which is still pretty uncommon back then.
Yeah.
Also, let's not forget it's pizza time.
Yeah, pizza.
It was so funny. It was so funny. Just delivering like 6 pizzas in a row. You know, just like 3 blue cards in a row. Sometimes when you just swapped into him with the LF Frieza on the back.
Yeah, those are the days, man. So
I remember watching
I've gotten confused a couple times, and I'm not ashamed to admit it.
It happened to me with Vegito.
I remember watching.
Go ahead.
I remember watching even like Ryuden or D-Free just like showcasing those units. They'd be like, pizza, 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 just like over and over again. It was hilarious.
Especially when LF Frieza came out, it was like, oh my god, so many blue cards.
Yeah, but you know who this happened to me with D-Free is Vegito Blue when I played both of them in the same team, and it's like, wait, does the green card have blast armor or the strike card have blast armor? Oh, that was the wrong one.
The first day Vegito Blue came out, I was like, oh crap. Because I'm recording at like freaking like 1 a.m. or whatever. So I'm like half asleep. I'm like, oh crap. He doesn't have blast armor on his strikes anymore.
Yeah.
Yep. Completely forgotten about it. All right. So there we got one more unit on this banner. And that was just an extreme. But Swift, what is your opinion on the extreme Namekoku?
Okay, so I personally did not pull this guy, but I've been kind of reviewing his kit. I mean, his Z ability is for Frieza Saga, and that's it. I mean, there's no Saiyan or Sun Family buff or anything. It's just strictly Frieza Saga, so that's kind of a downside in my opinion. I mean, I guess you could throw him on a full Frieza Saga team and just see how he does. He is a support unit, so as an extreme support type, he's not going to be doing much damage. I mean, his kit isn't horrible. His green card heals the entire team, I think like 10%. He's got some support uniques built into his kit. I mean, looking at the kit alone, he's not that bad, but then you look at the entire unit overall and he's an extreme support type. So, I mean, personally, I wouldn't really probably run this guy, especially at lower stars, but overall, it's a cool unit. It's a EX Namekoku, so I think it's cool. You know, he's Saiyan Sun Family, so he has access to all of those equips. There's a pretty wide variety of, you know, Saiyan equips. But yeah, overall, extreme support unit, decent kit. I mean, even when you go to look at his maximum stats at 14 stars, it's not anything too impressive. And obviously, not too many people are going to be able to get him 14 stars just because, you know, how hard it is to pull extremes in the first place. So, overall, I guess kind of a cool unit, but not something that I would personally really run. What do you guys think?
I think if the EX isn't transforming, then they serve no purpose. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if they aren't like Goku type beat, then they don't serve any purpose. But you could use him, obviously, but no one's gonna. I doubt anyone is gonna use this guy whatsoever. But yeah, he's just there. He's a EX. All EXs are from the same thing. Their stats are just atrocious. Their kits can be good, but without the stats, then it's just a waste, right? I
mean, he has to be pretty good. He defeated Frieza, right?
Yeah.
Why isn't he red then?
Dude.
I mean,
the thing about him, he was actually like, I talked about this earlier, but I think with Frieza Saga, it's kind of interesting what they're trying to do here. I don't know if they're like taking it full like seriously, or if they're just kind of like half-heartedly doing it. But they dropped the Ultra Goku. For one, he doesn't really have much synergy here. In fact, he's actually pretty gimped if you're running the like versions of this team with Frieza, or even like if you happen to be running Krillin. Like he's just, the Ultra ability just gimps him. The Z ability isn't for that team in particular, but he's still like their best red character.
Krillin.
And then also like they also do have the new Ultra Vegeta, who is geared more towards this team, even though he's pretty good on like Saiyans. He's geared towards this team. Then you have this dude. Then you have the free yellow Goku. You have the 2 blue Goku Zenkais. Like you have a Ginyu getting a Zenkai. Like they're trying to do something here, but I don't think it's like gonna really amount to too much unless they take it more seriously than this. Because like Frieza having that Z ability, that's like a missed opportunity. If they really wanted to take this seriously, like it needed to be at lower than like 6 stars, I believe it is. So like the Goku in and of himself is like their best screen for now. And if you use him on that team and you're using 4, 5, 6 Z abilities, I mean, he's cool. The supporting attribute for the damage is like the best thing that he's doing, though, in my opinion. He does pick up like he has some things built into his kit, like draw speed. He has the increases in damage and stuff like that. But like like ZBG is saying, like his stats are so low. I had him like 1 star, for example. So like,
oh my God,
1 star, he's not doing anything to like the walls of the game, like the real walls of the game. Like I ran into like some 14-star Saiyan teams, Zenkai teams. I'm just like, he's not doing anything here other than the supporting attribute. And the healing is cool. The canceling of debuffs kind of comes in handy with the green card for allies. Like that comes in handy. But he's not really adding too much value to you personally at least right now at a lower star level, personally, in my opinion.
I think one thing a lot of people have to understand about these EX units is unless they're specifically going out of their way to make these guys like really obviously good, like Goku, who's an exception.
Like
most
Whis Once Upon a Time, or the Red Gogeta Once Upon a Time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean they used to make like really powerful EXs, but now that it's sort of been like these are for collection purposes and that's it. Right? You're never gonna really use these guys in PvP.
I think the bar has raised, though, because Once Upon a Time, I think we'd look at this Goku and say he's pretty good as an EX character. In fact, maybe even one of the better ones in the game. I just think the bar has raised for EXs, too. We don't talk about it, but I think the bar has raised a lot.
Well, I think the bar
especially with Goku coming out.
I was going to say, I think the bar has raised not for EXs, but for every other unit. So the EXs haven't evolved to reach the point to match like all the sparkings that are coming out.
No, that's true. Like I was just saying, like, he wasn't doing anything to these freaking Zenkai 714
exactly.
stars.
Like EXs have not power crept themselves for a long time, whereas sparkings are constantly doing that.
Other than like Goku,
that's right.
That's it.
Yeah, Goku is the one exception by today's standards because he's a transforming character and he is literally designed to counter one of the best characters in the game. And he has a very powerful Z ability and he's on a very, I'd say, relevant team right now. So he's going to be good. Like he was, and he's the one lone standout of an EX that we've had in a long time, like a really long time.
I would actually say Movies is probably a top 3 team in the game.
Movies is really good. That's why I said like kind of like right now because they just kind of came out from nowhere. I don't know how they're going to age, another like 8 months from now, but they're really good.
I think one thing to note is how they can work on teams like GT and LOE, give them Zenkais, all this other stuff, and they're still like kind of mid. But they release one movie banner, and lo and behold, the team's top 3 in the game. It's like it's kind of funny to see, honestly, how they can just like work on attack for so long and they're still not at the level like movies where there's released one banner and now they're like one of the top teams in the game. It's kind of funny.
Well, they gave them a couple of really good characters. I'm really scared for movie Zenkai characters in particular, like Yellow Gohan, Ouch. Purple Bojack. Like I'm scared of some of those Zenkais.
The blue Vegeta also.
Yeah, that guy was a menace to society, bro.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, blast armor.
Bro, if they Zenkai that OG purple Bojack, that would be because people would just run purple red. You would run that Bojack Revival Gohan and then the new red Bojack. Yeah, that would be
have fun with
nasty
that.
team.
Yeah. And you have
they definitely have a list of like do not Zenkai ever characters.
And Gohan's at the top of that list.
I was gonna say I guarantee that Yellow Gohan is on there.
He's at the top of the list. He has to be.
Yeah,
like him, like Super Baby 2, like IT Goku, like they're all on there probably.
Yeah, they have to be on the wall, like the FBI's top 10 most wanted or something. Just like a daily reminder. Do not change those.
Yes. Yeah, those characters have to be on there. Gohan is like, if he ever got a Zenkai, I'd actually genuinely be surprised. But still, like, there's other movies characters that are just frightening to think about. So movies could be very good.
Spirit Bomb absorbed Goku from the 13 movie. You'd be a good one.
He'd be great.
The green one?
That's the blue one, huh?
Yeah, no,
watch him just be a freaking disgusting character.
The green one with the green card that blocks, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah.
He would be
movies have some fun stuff just waiting back there.
Yeah.
Or even like Red Android 13. That'd be a tough one.
Yeah. To be fair, they've been kind of toned down a lot lately with the Zenkais, so I don't know how crazy some of these characters like that Green Goku would be. But to be fair, Green Goku specifically, like if he got some early game damage, I think he'd be fine. And obviously a status upgrade. I think
I would want them to like specifically focus on the movies tag, like nothing Sun Family, like nothing Sun Family or Saiyans.
Yeah, but what I'm wondering, if they say they really never Zenkai IT Goku and the Gohan, is there any way they can ever make them relevant again? Because they kind of just stopped doing like those balance patches. So those units are
what do you mean, Palms?
trash, right?
No.
Palms, what do you mean, bro? The new PP system coming in, bro. More stats,
True,
you know what I'm saying?
true, to new units.
Yeah, bro. Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry, bro. Don't worry.
They're not Zenkaiing them for a reason. There's a reason they don't want them to be good. Like that's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's probably
Some of these characters are just on the do not Zenkai list, like Gresh was saying.
yeah, it's like, okay, we don't know how to balance them, so we'd rather just not.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, even if you go all the way back to some of the like the original characters in the game that were very meta relevant on the topic, like Green Bardock, like you don't even need to tune him that crazy. His kit is still going to be disgusting with the Zenkai. He doesn't need to have Gohan level Zenkai. Like any Zenkai on him is just because he has that oppressive play style. So like anything they do to him is just going to be like, nah, don't do it.
The only counter argument that we have against them saying, oh, well, we're never going to Zenkai this character, we're never going to Zenkai this character, is guess what? They Zenkai Blue Bardock. So that's the only counter argument. Is like they're actually out of their mind for Zenkaiing that unit. And
he should have been at the top of the list.
Dude, they Zenkai